Hey, yo, welcome to the Uncle Show, and oh dear God. Today, we have quite the figure, and not in a good way. We have here the high-grade Gundam build fighters Mrs. Lohan Rinko. And, well, let me give a bit of a story here. A while ago, I popped by Frankenstein's collectible show in California, which is this giant treasure trove of whatever kind of collectibles you need or want. Pokemon cards, vintage toys, model kits, way too many Funko Pops for my liking. And I picked this up for 30 bucks, mostly because a model kit of Rinko Iori from Gundam Build Fighters kinda appealed to me. To explain, Gundam Build Fighters is a spin-off series of Gundam that's something of a love letter to the franchise. Lots of shoutouts, little in-jokes, while still within its own continuity. And even if you're not super into Gundam, you can have a bit of fun with it. Or at least that's what people tell me. I still need to watch it properly. Rinko Iori is the main character's mom, and she's very passionate, sweet, caring, and, well, drop dead gorgeous. And after I got this figure and put it on my poll for future videos, I was warned that apparently this figure isn't very good. Not gonna lie, that got me more curious. So what could make this set so bad?
So creepy and bendy. It's rubber. We're getting the boobs. Oh my God, we're getting the boobs out first. I can't get over the ice stickers. Me neither, and I'm the one building them. That doesn't look good.
It's also just odd because, well, normally model kits of more human characters are typically statues, which doesn't really appeal to me. And it's also really funny to me to see the high-grade marking for a human figure. I know Bandai have their Figurize range, which does have more human design, but in the main Gunpla line, not so much. Now that I should also point out, this is not the only high-grade girl figure out there. There are a few others for build fighters, and all of them seem to have similar issues to this one. But I can't confirm, I don't have any of them, and I don't particularly want them after this. Tell you what I do want, your subscription. But before we get to today's subject, I just want to tell you that this video is sponsored by JP Fans. Yes, the people at JP Fans have kindly reached out for a collaboration and promotion, and it couldn't be more perfect. Have you ever tried to shop online for something that's only available in Japan, only to find out that your options are some goblin overcharging it on an auction site, or it's only available overseas with absurd shipping costs? JP Fans is an online proxy shipping service that not only charges a smaller service fee per order compared to other proxy services, but it also has a much nicer user interface than a lot of other sites, plenty of alternate language options, worldwide shipping, 60 days of item storage before shipping, and additional Mercari discount coupons up to 50% off. This is especially great for me because I particularly love the Bandai SMP model kits, but those haven't had a proper US release and as a result get massively upcharged. So a service like this is a great way for me to pick up other model kits, Blu-rays, makeup, clothing, 1970s jazz CDs, and more. And by clicking the affiliate link in the description or the pinned comment, you'll get 8 coupons worth up to $86 if you register an account. And you clicking that link also helps my channel out financially so I can keep making videos. There's something for everyone on JP Fans, so register today. Thank you so much. If you get subscribed and get notified, you'll not only see new reviews, but you can also tune into live streams where I film footage for future videos. Any super chats will also be featured in the video as well. Also, if you like the video, please give a like and comment. Your engagement helps support this channel. Now, back to the video. The build was technically fine. There was no breakage, no precarious connections, and all the instructions made sense really. So why is it only technically fine? Well, first up,
What the f is this? That is horrifying.
I know it's a model kit, it's gotta be built, but that's just terrifying. And low-key made me feel kinda like a creep throughout with detached legs, faces, and asses like I was Ed Gein. Netflix Ed Gein. This is something a less human-like model kit doesn't really suffer from, but that's just conceptually. In practice, I totally get it. How else are you gonna build this? Tell you what is genuinely awful. The stickers. I have decided to create a sticker pain index starting with this review. Think of it like that pain index for bug bites, but a lot stickier. Level 1 is harmless stuff like the real grade Gaogai Gar, where the main stickers were plastic, easy to apply, recessed enough into the plastic that they won't get damaged, and the rest of the stickers were optional. Going up a bit to level 3 is something like the Choryujin set, where most of the stickers are tolerable, but you got those awful thin strips that I ended up painting in myself. This, meanwhile, is level 5. Tiny stickers that are a pain to get in already. Thin stickers that break and rip if you so much as think of them. Segmented stickers that would look awful even if you applied them, so I didn't even bother. Stickers that are too big for the areas they're supposed to go. And for most of the stickers, they're colored in a way that they could have been made into plastic pieces because the colors of the stickers are already colors on the runners. And yes, I know I could paint a lot of these myself, but I do want to go over the stickers for my videos. They're there. I can't just ignore them. Besides, even if I was painting a lot of it, I can't paint the worst stickers of them all. The eyes. The eyes are stickers too, and they look awful. I get the idea behind it. Peeling and applying different eyes. It makes sense. But ignoring the fact stickers can peel off and rip, they look so bad, give off an effect like they're popping out of her face. Why not make them transparent on the edges so the effect works better? Also, you only get a small amount of eye positions, and the eyebrows are always locked in because they're molded plastic, so why even bother with alternative faces if you aren't going to do anything with them? Even weirder, technically, these are stickers on top of other stickers, and inside you have other eyes giving off this glassy eye effect. Why? Unless you want your character to have deep sunken in eyes, why would you do it like this? Also, getting these plastic pieces in was a massive pain to begin with and are essentially locked in by the sticker. But oh well, I get the concept. It's not like Bandai have made human figures with water slide decals or the like for human faces. Mother, I don't like it, mother. So, after a lengthy rant about stickers, how does the figure look? Wrong is the answer. So first off, the character isn't in her usual outfit with her turtleneck and apron, which is kind of a shame. Apparently this very Gundam-inspired outfit was made as a wedding gift by her husband. Adorable concept, but I'd much rather have a normal outfit instead of this overly sci-fi getup. It feels like an attempt on cashing in on those frame arm girls kits, which are a lot of sci-fi fan service heavy model kits of girls with all these armor bits flying around them. I don't really like the look of those either, and I don't care for it here. You can swap out some of the more sci-fi stuff for some normal accessories later, except for the skirt wings, because those are attached to these giant protrusions on her hips, and removing them looks even worse. Fun. But even beyond that, there's something off about the design. While the proportions for the body look pretty accurate, including the important areas, the face looks kind of bootleggy. The stickers aren't helping, obviously, but getting the animation model up, she has a much thinner face and head in the anime, whereas this looks like they put it in Photoshop and stretched it out. And I get not including some of her facial wrinkles that'd be kind of tough in model kit form, except her eyes look completely off. They're again a lot bigger and much rounder around the eyelashes. I guess in a way to make her look cuter, but tell me, does this lady need help to look cuter? Also, no lipstick either. Guess I gotta paint that myself. These changes in her outfit and her overall face makes this feel less like Rinko Iori and more like a character from some forgotten mid-2000s Japanese MMO. It doesn't evoke the character, which is a crime in a model kit. Even Mic Game, for its messed up proportions, still at least resembled the character. I'll tell you what else feels wrong. The feel of this figure. This feels remarkably cheap and hollow in a way that other model kits I've messed with don't make me feel. She just feels so light, and when she's on her stand, the slightest touch and she vibrates profusely. That sounds horribly wrong. And that means when you try to pose her about, yay. Also, her skirt is this horrible rubber thing that, while I like the idea behind it for posability, it really likes to pop right off. So for articulation tests, I'm just gonna take it off. I'm sure you folks at home will appreciate this too. Right, so let's try and get some articulation going on this thing. There is a ball joint at the head, but it is limited. Like, that's as far up as she will look, and that's how far down she will look. That's as much tilting as you're gonna get, but at least it can move around. And then this ponytail is also on a ball joint. At least that can move around. That's actually kind of nice. The arms are kind of fascinating because technically they're really well articulated. You got, for God's sake, a little bit of butterfly movement. She cannot T-pose because that'll get it out. She can do a little bit of shrug action. That's kind of interesting. Elbows are perfect elbows. That's actually kind of nice. There's rotation at the upper bicep. You can do that with the arm too. You know, a little bit of breaking her arm action, and the head's falling off.
Wonderful. And there is a ball joint. There is a waist rotation. It's gonna go all the way and feels really tight. There is chest crunch and arching back. You can do a little bit of side to side, but not quite as much as you would hope. These stupid things are on ball joints and do move around quite a bit. And these stickers are peeling off already. Wonderful. Can she get a decent spread in? Not quite. You can kind of rotate into that slightly better, but still not ideal. There's swivel at the upper thighs that seems to want to cause everything to just go horribly wrong. Knees are on a double bend, at least. That's good. Shin guards feel really loose, and the toes can bend forward and backward. You can adjust them, but it's not particularly great. It's not a very good ankle pivot. Of all the things to not be on a ball joint, why not the feet? So we can get some much better posing. So
Posability is technically really good in some areas and horribly limited in other areas. You can still get some nice looking poses from her, but you gotta be extremely careful in doing so. And just remember her limits in some areas, which doesn't feel fun at all. And that's a problem since you'd get a kit like this over a statue for posability. Like, she's trying her best for the dab test, she really is, but it's just not quite there.
Let's go over our accessories. So in addition to the grabby hands, or open hands rather. In addition to the open hands, you get a pair of fists. And those, well, you'll see what those are for later. But on top of these, you also get, you get a pair of alternate shoes, which actually are a lot more articulated and have proper working ankle pivots. So, and then you get the stand. And I was actually kind of excited about this because Gundam kits don't always come with stands. So having one here is kind of nice. Slight problem though. Those are the only two positions you get. Right then, time to add on her quote unquote battle gear. So you take the feet and you attach these blaster feet. Connect, there. And again, connect the next blaster. Then you take these knees and put the guns in. And of course they have those ugly little slots in the time being without them. We ain't done yet. Oh no. Because we got the backpack to attach. This is so ridiculous. You have to loop this through her ponytail and then connect it in like that, and her skirt just falls out again.
And for the final accessory, you get an alternate ass. An alternate ass. An alternate ass. I'm done. This is so you can do more sitting poses like the front of the box, because the actual back skirt won't move at all and is more likely to fall off. And in that regards, it does work and is useful if you need it for that specific purpose. I don't know if you'd use it for much else unless you get really creative with it.
All right, time for a little bit of size comparison. First up, here she is next to the entry grade RX-78 Gundam. Here she is next to the high-grade Gundam Ariel from Witch of Mercury. Just so that you get an idea of how big she is, here she is next to fellow high-grade figure Choryujin, which of course this is two robots combined. I do have this, the Soul of Chigokin. Get in there. The Soul of Chigokin Gundam Tryon 3. Yeah, so on the one hand, it is big for a model kit. On the other hand, it's also really empty and shallow feeling for a model kit, and it poses like crap.
So that was the high grade Rinko Iori, and this wouldn't receive a high grade from me. Overall, I'm less upset at this thing compared to the SMP Mic Game simply because she didn't explode on me and was not even half the price of that one. but she is still pretty bad. I get a feeling Bandai over-engineered this figure in some regards just to justify a more high-grade feel. Going back to the price, I've seen this figure go from anywhere between $20 and $30, more so towards the latter. And I suppose if you compare it to some other anime figures like the ones from Figma, it is a lot less expensive, a lot larger, and with a ton of extra features, and of course you got to build it. But it falls a bit flat considering the poor constructions, inaccuracy to character, cheap feel, and having stickers for eyes. It doesn't even work as a sexy figure because she has all this junk attached, and it doesn't accurately replicate the features that made the character appealing. And instead, she has a face like this. Sexy figures should work in tandem with the original character's design so that even when they're exaggerated or have a slight stylization change, they should feel like the character. See also Rocket Toy Tsunade. God dang, that's good. Why is she $300? But then again, I guess if we think of this as an early attempt at a more human articulated model kit, it was a noble experiment. A failed one, but a noble one. And since then, we've gotten plenty of human figures in Bandai's Figurize series, including of Gundam characters. I don't know how good they are myself as of writing. I have Luna Maria Hawk on hand, and I'll let you know when I review it. You had to start somewhere, I guess. I just wish we had another figure of Rinko aside from this one, because Best Girl deserves better. But what about you? How did you feel about this figure? Am I being unfair to it? Let me know in the comments, and please subscribe.